Hello and welcome to day 309. The name of today's session is The Energy of a House. Did you know that you may be unknowingly affecting your energy level, your physical health, and your mental health by what you allow to be present and in what order inside of your home? Today is an educational meditation, which we are bringing awareness to your surroundings and how it affects your entire body and mind. So let's dive in. Before we begin, let's take a little inventory of how you have seen God show up in your life since you were last here. Now let's get your body and soul prepared for this meditation as we find a comfortable seat to sit and be still. Get your body quiet and relaxed, taking in those deep breaths that will slow your autonomic nervous system down to nurture every cell in your body. Keep breathing deeply and listen to the sound of my voice. Let's talk about the energy of your house, particularly a messy house. A messy house is not a happy place to live. It has negative energy, and people who live there will be affected. Disorder gets in the way and stagnates, making it very difficult to continue on our ways. The stress of searching for stuff causes anxiety, depression, and confusion. Hence, the importance of throwing away or donating what we no longer need to give the house a new look. Your home is a reflection of your life, and that implies everything: physical, spiritual, emotional, labor, social, and family. Always remember that there's a place for everything, and everything should be in its place. This helps to be in harmony and results in a better flow of energy. You must clean house and get rid of or reform everything that does not make us feel good to make room for the new. Let's not accumulate things, but rather remove from home everything that doesn't contribute, that doesn't work, or that you don't like anymore. By getting rid of things that don't contribute anything positive, the house loses negativity, makes space, and becomes much easier to clean, which is something important. We should surround ourselves with things that we enjoy, that bring good memories, that motivate us. Your home is you, and you are your home. Our home is a reflection of ourselves. It tells us how we are at that moment. If we're stagnant, surrounded by so many things that contribute to nothing, this prevents us from seeing or having time for the most important things. Because you lose time looking for stuff, getting sorted or dusted. Let's simplify our life and keep what's really worthwhile. Lighting up your life makes you feel more free. Making decisions makes you feel more confident and responsible. Giving things makes you feel generous. And by organizing your space, you feel more organized and efficient. It's a way to free up space, not only physically, but also mentally, leaving room for new things to come in. That doesn't mean throwing away things that remind us of who we are, which is also important to have. Memories are the root of who we are. But what we accumulate that gives us nothing must be removed from our home and our life. Once you've purified everything you no longer need, you should follow the routine of order and cleaning to maintain a pleasant environment in your home. With habits like making your bed, the room will definitely look more tidy. Washing dishes whenever they arise to prevent them from accumulating. Removing daily trash to avoid bad smells. Put things in its place after use. Do daily routine cleaning. A clean and organized environment conveys joy, peace, and balance. I might add the same activity to go through your mind and your heart, your thoughts, what is taking up your headspace, and do the same cleaning exercises. Toss out and garbage round can whatever is not serving you mentally and emotionally. Cleansing the inner vessel can also bring massive amounts of joy, peace, and balance. So today I'm holding space for you to take physical, emotional, and mental inventory of what needs to be gathered up, thrown into the trash, and taken out to the garbage can on the street. I'll mind the time until you hear a soft bell. Okay, let's come back now. Taking those deep breaths, gently coming back to the present moment, stretching out the limbs, our arms, legs, and taking a lot of deep breaths. Peace comes when I clear and clean my surroundings, inside and out, for increased joy. Thank you for joining me today on this educational journey to take inventory of our physical surroundings and also our mental and emotional cleansing health. My prayer is that you will find tremendous peace and increased joy as you're mindful of taking these spaces and making sure that they are cleaned, wiped down, and the trash definitely taken out to the street. Great job showing up today for yourself. Become aware of the energy in your house, your physical house and your body house. I'll be back next time. I hope you'll choose to join me. Bye for now. Hello and welcome to day 310, Becoming Peace, Meditation and Inspiration. The name of today's session is Fixing Your Own Wounds. Every person on the planet is carrying old wounds, old traumas, old heartbreaks, and injustices. We all have that black bag inside our soul that holds painful stuff. Are you aware of yours? And where do you keep this black bag of sorts? Today we're going to do some work and meditation on these old wounds. But before we begin, let's take a little inventory of how you have seen God show up in your life since you were last here. Get your body and soul prepared for this meditation as we find a comfortable seat to sit in and just be still. Get your body quiet and relaxed, taking in those deep breaths that will slow your autonomic nervous system down to nurture every cell in your body. Keep breathing deeply and listen to the sound of my voice. The picture placed before you could not be better at representing the efforts we should be making to repair ourselves. Making regular repairs where we have been torn, bruised, and mishandled, sometimes by ourselves and sometimes by others. If you had battle scars that were left over, where would they be and what would they look like? I'm inviting you right in this present moment to make mental note of 2 of your biggest owies, which could be attended to. Let's take just a few moments to pause in order to identify those 2 which need attention, or that are the oldest wounds that you carry. So now that you've identified the 2 wounds, get a good visual of where you hold these wounds, inside or outside of your body. If the wounds are inside, what surgery needs to be performed? If they're on the outside, what needle of healing needs to be threaded and moved into action in order to tend to and complete or finish, in order for you to do some much needed repair on yourself? Do you need to speak to someone? Do you need to work internally on clearing emotions and energy surrounding this wound? What needs to be done right now in order for you to thread that needle, so to speak, and begin making the necessary repairs on yourself? No one will show up the way you can to conduct the repairs. Do you need to make a phone call? Hold a conversation? Do some silent work within? Only you know what needs to be done next. I'll mind the time and give you space to identify what needs to happen next. Come back when you hear that soft bell. Let's come back, taking in some deep cleansing breaths in through the nose and then releasing the turbid out through your mouth. Peace comes when I identify wounds I need to tend to. After all, we cannot fix anything we don't acknowledge or notice. I'm going to invite you to be extra gentle with yourself today. For some of the wounds that you may have noticed, might have been there for quite some time, or they might be fresh and painful. So give yourself some grace today as you contemplate what your next steps should be to move forward toward cleansing out and placing healing, stitching balms of comfort on yourself. Sometimes meditative work requires us to go to places that are uncomfortable in order to move forward. You have done an exceptional job today. I'd like to give you kudos and congratulate you for showing up today. This was hard, and you sailed through it. I will be back tomorrow, and I hope you choose to join me. Please share this program with someone that you love. And remember to take in more light today. You're going to need it to heal than you did yesterday. Bye for now. Hello and welcome to day 311, Becoming Peace, Meditation, and Inspiration. The name of today's session is Instead of Saying. Super simple, small changes in the way we communicate with others can make all the difference. Slight word choice changes and revamping questions can mean the world to a heart that's under duress. Today, we are going to spend some time in this space of becoming aware of our words, questions, and our phrases when we talk to people. Before we begin, let's just take a little inventory of how you have seen God show up in your life since you were last here. Get your body and soul prepared for this meditation as we find a comfortable place to sit and be still. Get your body quiet and relaxed. Take in those deep breaths that will slow your autonomic nervous system down to nurture every cell in your body. Keep breathing deeply and listen to the sound of my voice. We often have the best intentions when we ask questions and want to know how someone we care about is doing. Do you ever stop to consider how your questions and caring are being received? I know sometimes I just barrel through and ask questions in a way that might seem a little harsh at times, a little invasive. Lately, I've been trying to do better when it comes to being mindful of how my inquiries are being received. The poet Yuli Kay penned this perfectly. Instead of saying, "I know what it feels like," let's say, "I cannot imagine your heartbreak." Instead of saying, "You're strong, you'll get through this," let's say, "You'll hurt, and I will be here." Instead of saying, "You look like you're doing well," let's say, "How are you holding up today?" Instead of saying, "Healing takes time," let's say, "Healing has no timeline." Instead of saying, "Everything happens for a reason," let's say, "This must feel so terribly senseless right now." And when there are no words to say at all, you don't need to try and find some. Love speaks in silences too. The examples Yuli Kay suggests seem to carry a certain theme, and that is when genuinely asking questions, including feeling words, helps the receiver feel like you are trying to connect to their human side. When you inquire by saying something like, "That must feel," or "That must be difficult," there are many ways we can infuse and express being aware of how someone might be feeling on the inside, not just asking and inquiring in more generic ways. So try these suggestions from Yuli Kay in your communications today. Really listen to what people are saying and the tones they're using and the expressive words they're speaking. If someone says, "Oh, I'm hanging in there," that is your first clue. They might not be doing all that well. Masking what they're truly experiencing, and more than likely hanging by their fingernails. So be aware. Maybe a good comeback would be, "Oh, really? What seems to be the most difficult thing you're going through right now?" So often our questions are trite and just passing words like, "Hey, how are ya?" "Oh, I'm good. How about you?" Yikes. You might as well not even interact if you're not going to really care what someone's response is. Or, on the other hand, maybe the situation is just a brief hello to someone in the grocery line, and that is completely appropriate. But if you truly want to know how someone is, dig a little deeper. Ask feeling word questions. Watch their body language, their eyes, their tone of voice. You may be skipping over something very painful if you're not aware of perfecting the art of listening deeper. What can you do to take a more effective approach when interacting with people you care about? How can you level up your skill set, improving your listening skills and your communication skills? How can you move from the standard questions and masking answers? I'm going to mind the time to give you time to consider all of this. Come back when you hear a soft bell. Let's come back now. Taking some deep breaths in through the nose and then releasing out through the mouth. Coming back to the present moment and giving yourself lots of grace today. Peace comes when I connect with people's heart and truly learn to hold space for their feelings. What great reminders as we move into the holiday season when the world is hustling and bustling about, and a lot of individuals carry tremendous grief and heartache at this time of year, even amongst all the joy and Yuletide. For many people, their life is not what they'd hoped it would be. Be mindful, listen with your heart, and let the other person know that you heard them. Thank you for joining me today. I love holding space for you, and I'm going to encourage you to please share this with someone you love. I will be back tomorrow, and I hope you join me. Bye for now. Hello and welcome to day 312, Becoming Peace, Meditation and Inspiration. The name of today's session is Who to Avoid. I'm sure you've figured out by now that not everyone is your friend. Not all people have your best interest at heart. And many times I've heard people say, there's good in everyone. Love everyone. There is light in all hearts. Well, I'm here to tell you my life experience has taught me differently. People may have light, but they don't necessarily gift it to others. Not all people have good intentions. So, what about you? What has been your experience with this? This is the topic for our session today. But before we begin, let's just take a little inventory of how you've seen God show up in your life since you were last here. Let's get your body and soul prepared for this meditation by taking deep breaths in through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. Find that comfortable spot, place your body there, and let's begin. As we spend some time on this topic of trust and goodwill today, I think it's worth becoming aware that there are types of people out there it might be a good idea to avoid. One such group are those who knowingly mess with your head. The type that likes to play games and enjoys making you the centerpiece. This is never fun, and it puts your adrenals on overload. Another group to avoid are people who expect you to prioritize them, but refuse to prioritize you. Have you ever given until your fingers bleed? Understand that not everyone gives or has the same intentions you do. This can be heart-wrenching. People who can't and won't apologize sincerely are another group of people who make life a little miserable. Avoid them. It's just easier. Release those toxic people from your life. You do not have to interact or respond. There's another group that intentionally and repeatedly do and say things that they know upset you. For someone to consciously dish out hurtful words and behavior is almost unforgivable. It's one thing to unknowingly hurt someone's feelings, but to do it on purpose, that's psychopath behavior. Think about it. The last category we're going to talk about today are those who act like the victim when confronted with their abusive behavior. This is a trait of narcissistic behavior and should be a very large red flag for you. You don't change the narcissist. Did you know this? They don't change. It's a losing battle. You're setting yourself up for extreme heartache if you think otherwise. This meditation session is not meant to gloom and doom you. Far from it. The intention of this session is to draw awareness in your heart and mind to what might be causing you deep-rooted pain by keeping these types of people in your life. When you decide you're worth it to release toxicity and people who don't have your best interests in mind, then your life will be a whole lot more peaceful and tranquil. Let's look at the example of the best teacher ever, Jesus Christ. What did he do with Judas? Judas Iscariot, one of Jesus' most beloved disciples. Jesus walked away once he was betrayed by Judas. His heart was heavy and sad at the release, but Judas was no longer part of his inner circle. Today is about recognizing where you put up with these types of behaviors. Who dishes them out in your direction? And what is it inside of you that says you accept doormat behaviors from those around you? Try to imagine your life with kind, loving people in it. Maybe you need to dump 50 friends and keep 2. Or maybe you don't have 2 and you need to find new people in your life worth your time that's willing to match your efforts. And that, my friend, is just okay. You know, on a personal note, this past year has been a house cleaning event for me. All year long, I've been taking a good, hard look at the people I allow inside of my world. It's been a mega dump this year. People who don't respect or treat hearts with kindness have been axed. I might add, I send them love and send them on their way. Do you know how much more peaceful my life has been? My goodness, it's been life-changing. And I might add also that certain people in your life, they may be very difficult to distance yourself from because of the role they play in your life. Maybe you have a former spouse that is the father of your children. That's a hard one because nothing will change the fact that this person is a co-parent with you. Nevertheless, there are steps you can take to protect yourself. You don't have to be in the same physical space most of the time. So choose differently. You're bright and smart and can come up with a Marvy plan for yourself. Today, I'm just holding space for you to consider the ways and decide what your plan will be and who you need to keep in your life and who you need to exit. So come back when you hear a soft bell, and I'll be waiting. Let's come back now. Breathing in love and light, and breathing out all the toxic energy. Breathing in bright white light, breathing out black, toxic, turbid. Keep breathing. And get ready to move your body back into the space of the present moment. You did a great job today. Wow, that's sometimes very difficult to determine what a plan of action will be, especially when deep changes need to be made and executed. Peace comes when I avoid toxic people and make a plan to spend more time with good souls. You've done incredibly good, hard work today. Pat yourself on the back and congratulations. These topics are not the easiest. I've enjoyed being here with you today, and I really encourage and invite you to take in a lot of light today, whether it's through sound, good food, good music, good people, good clothes, good everything. Just take in a lot of light today. I'll be back tomorrow, and I hope you choose to come back too. Bye for now. Welcome to day 313, Becoming Peace, Meditation, and Inspiration. The name of today's session is Letting Go of Old Habits. The saying, old habits die hard, is a truth. They stick like glue and swarm like flies. There also seems to be an interesting dichotomy. However, it seems if the habits are ones we are looking to adopt and are positive in nature, these rules don't apply. Go figure. So that means we have to take special care to make sure we embrace letting old destructive habits go by the wayside. And on the other hand, cultivate the future habits we want to incorporate on purpose. But before we begin and go any further today, let's take a little inventory of how you have seen God show up in your life since you were last here. Get your body and soul prepared for this meditation as we find a comfortable place to sit and be still. Get your body quiet and relaxed. Take in those deep breaths that will slow your autonomic nervous system down to nurture every cell in your body. Keep breathing deeply and listen to the sound of my voice. An African proverb states, "A cat that dreams of becoming a lion must lose its appetite for rats." Let me repeat that. A cat that dreams of becoming a lion must first lose its appetite for rats. This is profound because the meaning to me means to achieve greatness, you must let go of old habits that could hold you back and hold back your progress. Sometimes we say we want $1 million, and yet we're not willing to get off the couch. Words alone do not deliver goals and dreams. There must be action. There must be a mindset. There must be a desire. There must be things that are added to your calendar to make those dreams a reality, and then there must be action. It's often said in the scriptures that faith without works is dead. I wonder how willing you are to kick out the old habits and embrace fresh, new, vibrant ones. This is the time of year to visit how you want to show up for next year. I love the months of November and December as a precursor for thinking how I'm going to intentionally set new habits and on purpose release and set down the habits which don't serve me and are no longer needed or working. So today, let's spend a few moments in contemplation. What is no longer serving you? What habits need to be booted out of your life? What needs to be released? What is the Spirit directing you toward? What do you have a burning desire to take in? And what new habit is asking you for a chance? I'll mind the time while you consider this and more. Allow God to speak to you right now and ask for His wisdom to consume you. Come back when you hear a soft bell. Let's come back. Let's take in some deep breaths and soaking in all the goodness and inspiration you just received. Take a few moments and thank your Maker for inspiring you. And go ahead and thank him by making a game plan of action. No one ever wins without a plan. Peace comes when I let go of old habits that aren't good for me. I hope you've been inspired today to let go of old habits, letting go of old patterns, of old clothing, of old belongings, of old mindsets, and old ways of thinking that no longer serve you. Food that you shouldn't be intaking into your body. Places that you know you shouldn't go. Thoughts that you entertain that you know should not be there. And actions and time spent in places and on projects that are not you and are not productive. I hope this has been inspiring and awakening for you. My invitation is that you'll take in more light today than you did yesterday, and that you'll show up tomorrow ready for day 314, week 45 review. Enjoy a restful, peaceful day. Bye for now.